Hey everyone, it's Justine, and today I am a part of the Heffy Doodle new release blog hop, and I'm very excited about it. I was able to go to the Heffy Doodle booth at Creativation and actually meet Leslie in person, and it was super exciting, and I loved every minute of it. She's so amazing. So I am really excited to be a part of this blog hop and get to use this really cool Lucky Friends stamp set, which I'll show you more of later on in the video. How adorable is this leprechaun? I'm super excited. So it's not just a St. Patrick's card. She has lots of sentiments that are included in the stamp set so that it doesn't have to be St. Patrick's. You could use it, as it said, it's called Lucky Friends. So for friendship cards or even a love interest card. It's kind of a goofy one, I guess. So I'm going ahead and coloring the leprechaun's clothes in some grays and yellows and greens. And I'm going to speed you up here for my Copic coloring. I have all the colors there on the side so you can see exactly what I'm using. And as I've said, this month seems to be a very coloring focused month on my YouTube channel, which is a little bit rare for me, really. And it seems that all the stamps that are coming out are really coloring based, so I'm really excited about them. And I like to find ways to use them in coloring ways or to use them in ways that, don't require coloring and figuring out both, so I could show you a wide variety if you're a colorist and if you're not a colorist. So this one here is more of a if you're a colorist or practicing coloring or wanting to learn how to color, and I'm going to be coloring this leprechaun. So what I always do is color the lightest layer first. I lay down my color, then I go in with my darkest color to add the cast shadows, and then I go ahead and blend out those cast shadows with the medium color and go back over with the original light color to blend everything together. It's nothing super complicated. I kind of just like to think to myself, where's the shadow going to be? So, for example, under the jacket would cast a shadow onto the pants because it is usually hanging over the pants. And then, for example, the buckle on his hat, the buckle would be in front of the band, so that would be a little bit darker than, of course, the rest of the band. And that's just kind of how I go with my logic. If you're interested in more coloring, I recommend Kit and Clouder classes. I will link to them in the video description below, as that is where I learned generally my coloring fundamentals. I'm not an expert, but I have to say I've been practicing lots and I've been noticing a ton of improvement. One of the most challenging things I find personally, because I don't use coloring stamps very often, is after I color the image, what do I do with it after that? Because I like to create video tutorials that are all a little bit different, so I don't want to keep repeating things over and over again, but I find it a little bit difficult not to. So anyway, I decided I'm going to actually incorporate the sentiments and try to incorporate more than just the images on the stamp to create a fun background. So I actually originally got this idea a couple of years ago. I saw a card that was done like this, I believe from one of the members of the Create a Smile team. And I really enjoyed the fact that they used a background behind one of their coloring stamps. So I got the idea to show that here on the video. However, it did take me a couple of seconds for some strange reason to actually get these all lined up, but I decided to only add 3 of them to my sentiment and just repeat stamp using my Misty stamping tool. So finally, after I got these on there straight, for some reason I just struggled this time, I inked those up in just some black ink. Originally, I had done this card and I had done it in green and yellow ink in the background, but I thought it got a little lost with the leprechaun, so I decided not to do that. And I'm just going to move my paper accordingly. I can see through my top part of my Misty where I need to stamp this. I could just kind of run my card up and down it, and I'm just going to repeat these layers. So they say, for example, Happy St. Patrick's Day, cheers and good luck, and you're my lucky charm. So it just has a bunch of sentiments. And of course, as I said, you can remove the Happy St. Patrick's Day and then make it just a general card. So I'm just stamping the last 2 here at the bottom. I didn't have enough room for all 3. But that's okay, and it's just going to create a little bit of interest behind the leprechaun. And I like as well that they're all sort of shifted in different areas. So I'm going to go ahead and add the leprechaun there with some foam tape, and then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more color to the card to incorporate the colors of the leprechaun into the background. So I grabbed some of these 4-leaf clovers and shamrocks and decided to add 2 of those as well as a gold coin onto the card to incorporate some of the greens and the yellows from the leprechaun. I always like to tie in a lot of the elements from my colored image into the backgrounds and things so that they all coordinate and they all go together well. So I just grabbed my card base here. It measures 4 1/4 by 11, and I folded it in half at 5 1/2 inches. I have my bone folder there keeping it closed so it doesn't keep popping open on me. And I am going to glue this using some Tombow Mono liquid adhesive onto my background. And that is the end of today's card tutorial. A really quick and easy design that you can recreate with so many different types of stamps. If you want to check out the Heffy Doodle brand new stamp set releases and the new release, I'll have that linked to below. There's probably some prizes there to be won and lots of excitement. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.